Today, we are going to talk about the Cherished method to attracting a high quality, godly man who cannot wait to cherish you and cleave to you. And just so you guys know, this live stream has a little bit of a delay. So if you have any questions, I am going to be on my phone so that I can see your questions as you post them. And also feel free to just put them in the chat. And again, there is a bit of a delay, so it may take me a second to answer your questions. So just a heads up on that. So anyways, let us get started. I am going to share my screen with you guys. So here we go. There I am in the corner. Okay. So again, today we are talking about the Cherish method, and I'm going to show you the 3-step simple formula that allows you to attract godly, high quality men who will cleave to you and who will cherish you. So a little bit of housekeeping right now. So I'm going to teach you the Cherish method by showing you how I personally healed from my own history of abuse, from dating emotionally unavailable men, and from self-sabotage to find the man of my dreams, because I know that these are issues that a lot of women deal with as far as the abuse and dating men who aren't really available, and also sometimes sabotaging yourself when it comes to finding these relationships. I'm going to talk to you about the huge mistake that I made when I was trying to get men to be interested in me, and also about how I was able to flip it and create a healthy, sustainable, cherished relationship, in my case, a cherished marriage, and how I help my clients do that as well. So a little bit about my journey. So if you haven't really been following me, even though you're in the group, my name is Cherished, and I'm the pre-wife coach. So I help single, successful Christian women learn how to attract their ideal partners and how to do it without compromising their values, their identity, or their sanity. So here's the thing. I never had a problem with dating. So I always dated a lot ever since I was a teenager. I was always in relationships, but most of the relationships that I was in were not healthy, is the problem. So I kept driving men away because I was leading with my accomplishments, I was leading with my independence, and I was just leading with this really masculine energy that is not at all attractive. And I got sick of terrible relationships, and I got even sicker of people in my church trying to dictate how I should date. So actually, let me make myself a little bit bigger so you guys can see me better. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to hop on and ask those questions. If need be, I will go into my other browser and log on Facebook so that I can see everything. So here is a look at where I am now. I learned how to stop settling for any kind of relationship. And I learned how to choose those relationships that make me feel cherished and safe. And honestly, not just in my romantic relationships, but in all of my relationships, because love is truly an inside job. And you have to know that it is all related. So if you are unable to have healthy, sustainable relationships with your family, with your friends, even with your coworkers, it will trickle down to your love life as well. So I learned how to set boundaries. I learned how to teach others how to treat me. And I took my own journey from pre-wife to the wife. And I found a husband that was better than I could dream of. I found a man he was the man I didn't even know to pray for. Like, I was praying to God to help me find a husband, but I did not know that I was going to end up with someone as awesome as the guy that you see in that picture. And we're technically engaged now, but our wedding's only about 3 weeks away. So he's good as husband at this point. So at this point, I'm dedicated to showing Christian women how to attract men who can't wait to cherish them. And my clients, when they work with me, they go on more dates, they create long-term relationships, and they start to excel more, not just in their romantic relationships, but also with their friends and their family and in their career as well. So again, I am just going to hop on my phone right now and see if there are any comments. Oh, hey, Petra. I hope that you are having a great Wednesday. So again, here's what I'm going to show you today. So we're going to talk about why your search for the right man is starting in the wrong place. And we're going to talk about what these other so-called dating gurus do that is not going to help you create sustainable love. It'll help you go on more dates, but sustainable love is a completely different case. So I'm also going to show you what you're not doing to truly be ready for love. And that kind of links into this, why your search is starting in the wrong place. We're going to talk about how to qualify good men and the unconventional secret to piquing a man's interest. We're also going to talk about how to keep a man interested so that he wants to stick around and to cherish you. We are not doing any more ghosting in 2019. We are attracting men who are committed and who know how to stick around. So this is why this is so important right now. The church, as much as I love the church, and I come from a family of preachers actually, the church hasn't gone far enough in teaching you how to be loved. Let me know if you can relate to this idea of going to church, wanting to do the right thing, wanting to build your relationship with God as you also build your relationship with a man and build your relationship with your family, all of your other relationships. And the preacher is only telling you things like, just sit and wait on your Boaz. Frankly, just sit and wait and keep your legs closed. And that is all you're supposed to do. And eventually some guy will stumble upon you and find you. That is not what I coach my women on doing, because yes, there's patience. Yes, there's waiting on God's timing, but you didn't wait for a college to come knock on your door. You applied. You didn't wait for the right career to come. You applied to jobs. So why are you sitting around waiting on something that is even more important, attracting that love of your life? So again, you don't have time to waste on men who are emotionally unavailable. And you don't have to change who you are to get the right man to cleave to you. And I see this so often with some of the women that I work with, and it makes me really sad that they come to me and they have all these ideas about how they need to change this, they need to lose weight, they need to change their hair, they need to do this and that in order to get a man to cleave to them. And that could not be further from the truth. So we are going to talk about that today. So I just want to make sure that you are in the right place if you're watching this video. And by the way, if you're watching live, use my hashtag #CherishedWomen. And if you're coming back and watching this later, use hashtag replay, because I will come back and check and respond to your comments and your questions. So this is for you if you're a professional woman and you've achieved a lot of success. So you have the education, you have the career, you have the friends, and now you just want the man. You just want to have the husband, and you're over it. You are over dates. You are over men that just completely waste your time. You have gotten well beyond the point of just going out with a guy for the sake of getting a free dinner. You really want a connection. You really want to go out there and meet someone, and when you meet him, you feel like your life has changed. You feel like there's something different about him and that you're different for knowing him. You don't have time to change who you are to get a man to cleave to you. And I see this with so many of those so-called dating experts. They'll teach you how to change your appearance. They'll teach you how to change the way that you text. They'll teach you how to create dating profiles that aren't authentic. You do not need to change who you are. In fact, God can't bless who it is that you pretend to be. And also, you know that you're not only worthy of love, but you can give it as well. So I don't coach spoiled princesses. I'm just going to be frank about that. I coach women who know that they're successful, who know that they're ready for love. And not only are they ready to be loved, but they are ready to have a husband, and they're ready to care for him just the same way that he cares for her. So this is what most dating coaches do. They don't really focus on long-term results. Many dating coaches out there are interested in getting you those quick wins, the ones where you go on more dates, the ones where you get more guys to talk to you, to holler at you, whatever you want to call it. And those are great things. And I actually teach women those things too. But I am interested in getting you down that aisle and helping you secure the ring. So I want to help you on not just the external stuff, but the internal stuff. So when you work with me, we're going beyond those hacks. We're going beyond those tricks. And I'm going to show you what to do after you use those tricks, about how to create a relationship that is going to last and that is going to be permanent, and that you're going to find that man who truly helps you live a satisfying, abundant life, not just, oh, you now have some plans every Saturday. So here's my mission for today. I want to be genuinely helpful. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to hop in the comments section and let me know. I cannot see them on my laptop and there is a delay, but I have my phone here. So if you have any questions, I will be checking periodically to answer those. I'm going to save you a lot of time because really, do you want to spend forever and a day experimenting with dating and attraction secrets from the so-called experts? You want a method that is proven and one that you know works. And we're not going to waste time anymore on going on endless dates with men who aren't aligned with your vision for marriage and your purpose. One of the things I often talk to my clients about is the fact that, again, my fiance and I are getting married in a couple of weeks after 3 years of dating. But he brought up the subject of marriage and letting me know that he wanted to marry me after a month of dating. We waited longer because we wanted to get some things together with our careers and all that. But it was very clear from the beginning that this was not a time-wasting relationship, that the two of us both had a vision for marriage and that we were committed to that vision. So I want to show you how to have the same. And I'm going to help you understand how you can attract a man who wants to cleave to you using the Cherished method. So let's talk about why now. Again, you're successful in every other area of your life. So you have the career, you have the education, you have all those other trappings, all those other signals of success. So why is it that you're doubting your ability to be a great wife? And why are you afraid of being rejected, of wasting your time with the wrong man? I'm going to show you how to stop settling. And I'm going to show you how to create the cherished relationship that you deserve so that you have that husband, you have that loving relationship along with all the other successes that you have in your life. You'll finally have someone to share these successes with, because what's the point in having the career and having the money and all that good stuff if you're going home alone at night? Your degrees do not keep you warm. So with that in mind, here's why you should listen to me. I've spent years studying the psychology of dating. This is something that has always fascinated me. I was a journalism major in college, but I also took lots of classes on the psychology of marriage, on the psychology of dating, on the psychology of sex, and I still study those things today. And I've helped all types of women who are different ages, they have different amounts of dating experience, women who are single mothers, women who've been divorced. I have seen it all and I've coached it all. So I know how to help you with your situation. And I did the work myself to go from dating around to being in a single season where I wasn't completely 100% committed to being married, to once I made that decision that I was ready to get married and I was ready for the man that God wanted to send to me. It wasn't very long after that. In fact, a month or so after that, that I ended up in a relationship with my fiance and went from, dating around to committed and cherished. And I want to show you the things that I've learned now. So I discovered that there are 3 types of mindsets that determine whether you will struggle with dating or whether you will get the committed love that you desire. And I actually want to check in now and just see if there are any comments. So again, feel free to comment at any time and ask me any questions. But here are the mindsets that I have seen. The careful mindset. These are women who, let me know if this applies to you. You're not going out, you're not meeting any man because you're afraid of being rejected. You're asking any and everyone who will give you advice, and you're trying to implement a bunch of tips that conflict with each other. So this is you if you're constantly going to every single friend of yours who's in a relationship, or even those friends of yours who aren't even in relationships, asking them for advice. You're reading all of the online articles, you have bought 50 million books, and you're trying to follow what everyone says, even when sometimes what one person says is completely different from what another person says. And you're either not dating consistently, or you're constantly getting hurt by the same type of man over and over again. Every relationship you get into is just a serious case of deja vu. And there's also the controller mindset. So you've been burned before by relationships, but you vow that you will never be burned again. And you do everything you can to control every dating situation that you enter. You lead with your resume. You're constantly trying to show men what a catch you are so that they don't leave. And you do this by the minute you meet a man, you start talking to him about all of your accomplishments, about all of your degrees, about what it is that you do and how much money you're making. I see this often with my clients. You are the CIA. In fact, the CIA has nothing on you. You investigate everything, everything about potential interest. You're trying to ensure that you'll see any heartbreak coming before it happens. You are determined to Google this man to death, to Facebook him to death, to Twitter him to death, to Instagram him to death, to make sure that the odds are stacked in your favor. And let me just break in right now and tell you that that does not work. And also, your need to know everything and be in control of everything, it constantly pushes good men away. So as much as you Google or Facebook a man, there's still some things that he can hide. And also, even if you successfully find out everything, once he finds out that you've been doing this, you will push him away. So again, I just want to check into the comments and see if you have anything. Sorry about that with the volume. So again, if you have any questions, just let me know. And if you continue with this careful or your controller mindset, I can almost guarantee you that you will remain single for a much longer time. In fact, I would be willing to put money on it that you will stay single way longer than God ever intended you to be, because you will not get this mindset straightened out. So here's what you want. You want a love that lasts a lifetime, not just a little while. You want to be free from the feelings of unworthiness and loneliness. And you want this because you want a man who will support you as you fulfill the purpose that God has placed in your life. You don't want just a marriage, you want a partnership. You want someone who is going to be that purpose partner that you help him live his purpose while he helps you live yours. You want to set the example of a healthy relationship for your children or for any younger people in your life, younger brothers or sisters, younger cousins that you influence. You want to leave for them a legacy of love. And you want to have someone to explore the world with, whether that is literally traveling the world or just trying out new restaurants and going new places on weekends. You want that in your life as well. So here's the cherished mindset. The cherished mindset involves pursuing the worthy goal of being married without the constant pursuit of a man. It is learning how to attract a man with grace, with ease, with flow, knowing that you are a cherished woman who deserves the ultimate happiness and that you deserve a partner who can't wait to cleave to you, who can't wait to cherish you, and who can't wait to take care of you. So here are some things that I stopped doing on my path to becoming the cherished woman. I stopped waiting by the phone for a guy to call. If he called, he did. If not, I wasn't going to give up my weekend plans. I was going to give up any plans waiting by the phone. Again, I stopped ditching plans with friends and family just for a date. I stopped allowing others to overstep boundaries that I clearly set. I stopped staying in relationships for far too long. And the fifth thing is not on here. But the fifth thing that I stopped doing was dating the same man over and over again. I started to get a lot better with watching out for red flags. So I want you to be able to do the same because I've done it. I have coached several women in how to do it, and I want to show you how to do that right now. So it's called the Cherished method. And as you can see on the screen, there are 3 main phases of the Cherished method. One is cleanse, the second is call in, and the third is cleave. So in the cleanse phase of you and I working together, I'm going to show you how to heal from your brokenness. I'm going to show you how to break bad patterns, and I'm going to show you how to make space for love. And for calling in, we're going to get really clear when you and I work together on why it is that you want to be married, what your purpose for marriage is. I'm going to show you how to meet quality men, and I'm going to show you how to use your feminine charm to attract a great man. And that whole cleave phase is about going from just dating like the other dating coaches, so-called gurus will teach you, to actually having a sustainable, lasting relationship to help you go from pre-wife to the wife. So I'm going to talk to you about having cherished conversations. You and I are going to work together on making sure that you are getting deep on those conversations that you need to have with a man and when to have them. We're going to talk about the red flags to watch, and we're going to create sustainable love. So again, cleanse. I have said this before, that love is an inside job. And you attract what it is that you believe you deserve, not what you actually deserve, because the women that I work with are amazing, awesome women, and they give me new joy every day. I work with the best women ever. But so many of them, I know that they deserve a great man, but it's not until we work together that they actually believe that they deserve a great man. And that is what makes all the difference. So what you focus on magnifies, and that is whether you are focusing on negative things or positive things. So when you focus on positive things, you bring more positivity into your life. When you focus on negative things, you bring more negativity into your life. And that includes the relationships. So if you focus on negative, toxic relationships, you will continue to bring in those toxic men. So again, if you haven't truly dealt with your past, you will date toxic men over and over again, and you will either end up single forever, or you will end up getting married, but you'll end up getting married to a man who is no good for you, who's not the man that God wants for you, and who is not the man who is going to cleave to you and commit to helping you live your purpose. So again, that's cleanse. Let's talk about calling in. So I want you to know that you are creating a legacy, and you want to meet men who are aligned with your values. One of my favorite verses in the Bible, I know we always talk about the Proverbs 31 woman, but this is Proverbs 31:25. She is clothed with strength and dignity. She can laugh at the days to come. So a cherished woman is confident in who it is that God made her. And when she enters a room, people notice, and she's not afraid to make conversation. She's not afraid to use her feminine charm. She knows that she's worthy of a great man. She knows that when she enters a room, she is blessing everyone with her presence. So she can use that charm to make conversation and to get men who are attracted to her and who want to get to know her better. And not just any man, but quality men. So when you're willing to put yourself out there, God will put you in the position to meet and get to know men who can't wait to cherish you. And I've had some actual controversy over that, because I have definitely talked with women who say, oh, what do you mean you need to give God something to bless? He can bless you no matter what. And that's true. But here's the thing. So God can't bless what you don't put in his hands. So if you constantly stay at home, how are you supposed to meet a man if you haven't put yourself in a position where you're going to meet men? Once you put yourself out there, God will show you what to do to meet the great man. So I want to talk about two of the women that I've worked with actually right now in the past. So one is back to that cleanse phase. Jessica, who I have worked with, and she is also now a friend of mine. And when she and I started working together, she was actually already in a relationship, but they were having some issues with communication. They were having some issues with having that cherished mindset and being able to cleave to each other, and also make sure that their love was sustainable, not just a relationship that was going to be short term. And here's some of what she had to say about me, that Keisha is much more than a coach. She is a living, breathing liberator who helped me break free from my own internal prison. What makes her coaching style even better is that it is honest and straightforward. She does not beat around the bush, but also has a gentleness that does not offend. And I appreciate that so much, because first of all, Jessica is an amazing woman, and she's now an amazing wife and an amazing mother as well. And as far as that whole beating around the bush, look, when you work with me, I am going to be straight with you. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not going to sugarcoat, but I want you to know that there's a reason why women have to apply to work with me. I only work with women that I genuinely and truly like, and I am going to be so invested in you So yes, my love is going to be a little bit tough, but I want to make sure that you are able to break from all the toxicity and have the abundant life that is greater than you could have ever imagined. So back to that calling in, I want you to meet Melissa. And it's funny, I'm sorry, just looking at this. She says, before I met Keisha, I was so scared to put myself out there and date. And that's true. And it's not really just true of her. It's true of so many women that I see, that they are afraid to even make basic conversation with guys that they meet. But I helped her take baby steps to put herself out there. I'll go back to her quote: until I was consistently dating and meeting great guys, I know I wouldn't have met my boyfriend without her. So Melissa and her boyfriend have been in a relationship for several months now. After she and I had been working together for about a month, she met him. So it is very true that once you start getting out there and learning how to attract a quality man, once you start learning how to make those introductions and make those conversations, it's not going to take you long at all to meet quality men. So now back to the Cherished method. We're going to talk about that cleave part of the Cherished method. So John 7:24 says to stop judging by mere appearances and instead judge correctly. And this is actually a verse that I put in here because it has convicted me, and it was definitely a conviction when I first went on my own journey from pre-wife to be-wife. So a cherished woman is a questioning woman. She knows how to ask the right questions to see if this is a sustainable relationship. And a cherished woman uses discernment, and she can quickly qualify a godly man. She also knows the value of timing and how to move the relationship forward without rushing it. So when you are a cherished woman, you listen to men and you don't just hear what it is that you want to hear. You use your discernment that God gave you, if you want to call it feminine intuition, and you use that to learn how to tell if a man is lying. You learn to quickly judge his intentions, and you learn how to quickly separate, as the Bible would say, the wheat from the chaff, but you learn how to separate the trash from the treasures. And you stop wasting your time in long relationships with men who don't want anything good for you. So here is another testimony. I do not have a picture of Tammy, but she says that when we started working together, she fell for so many men who just told her what she wanted to hear. And that I taught her what to ask on dates and what red flags to listen for. And she was able to, she's now engaged. She met her fiance and she knew how to open up without giving too much away and how to have real talks with him. Because this is something that I see so often with women who are in relationships. They are so eager to meet the right guy, and they meet a guy who seems nice. So they start just pouring their hearts out there. And they tell him everything and they rush it along to the point where he's just like, whoa, I can't do all that. This is too much for me right now. And it ends up pushing the man away. You have to learn how to not only ask the right questions, how to listen for the right answers, but also what order to ask these questions in, when is the appropriate time to bring up certain subjects in your relationship, because you want to move it along at God's pace, and you also want to move it along at a pace that is comfortable for the man, so that he is also able to open up to you as well. So right now, I want you to just close your eyes and imagine this, what it would be like to have complete freedom from your past mistakes, from your limiting beliefs, and from your pain and bitterness over past relationships. I want you to imagine what it would be like to have the confidence to get out there and meet great men. And I want you to imagine having the ability to quickly discern if a man is a treasure or trash. I want you to imagine attracting godly men who can't wait to cleave to you, truly cleave to you, not a man who's just there for what he can get out of you to see if this can be a one-night stand or whatever, but a man who knows that when he meets you, that you are the one for him and that he is committed to making that a reality. Like I said, my fiance, he and I were only dating for about a month when the subject of marriage came up. And I want you to imagine being in a healthy relationship in which you know that you're cared for and that you're cherished. because I can tell you that there is nothing greater than that feeling of waking up in the morning and things may not be going 100% how you want them to go, but you know you have someone who you can talk to, you know you have someone who cares for you, and you know you have someone who is going to do whatever it takes to make you feel cherished, to nurture you, to take care of you, and to help you deal with these problems and face them head on. So if you're stuck with the careful or the controller mindset, let me actually make myself a little smaller so you can see this. So if you're stuck with one of those mindsets, you're going to continue to let your fear of rejection prevent you from living an abundant life. And one or two things will happen. You'll remain single, or worse, you'll continue to date, maybe even marry a toxic man who doesn't care about your purpose. You'll find yourself in a cycle of situationships, relationships that aren't clearly defined, relationships in which you don't even know if you're in a relationship or if this man is seeing other women. And you'll consider settling just to say that you're in a relationship, just so that you can stop being the third wheel or the fifth wheel or the seventh wheel when you go out with your friends. And that is not the life that you want. So here's the thing. You have two choices right now. You can either settle for the status quo and you can completely miss out on the amazing, awesome relationship that God has for you. Or you can, hey, Kalita, you can walk into the abundance that you've been promised with a man who can't wait to cleave to you and who can't wait to cherish you. So that choice is yours. And if you are interested in taking that second choice, now is the time to take action. So you can schedule a Cherished call today, and what will happen is you and I will get on the phone. It will be through Zoom, which is an app, so that I can actually see your face and you can see mine. You and I are going to talk about how the Cherished method applies to your relationship. So it is going to be a deep conversation. We're going to talk all about your relationship history. We're going to talk about how it is affecting your life, both your love life, but also your life as far as your finances, your career, your relationships with your family members, because believe me, it is all related. And we're going to discuss your unique blocks to a blessed relationship, which is why I am a fan of working one-on-one. So I do have a group coaching program, but I only open it once or twice a year for this reason. I prefer working with women one-on-one privately so that we can get really deep into what it is that you are dealing with and how to create a plan to help you attract the husband that God has for you. So if you're interested in working with me one-on-one, the link is calendly.com/Keisha Rice, calendly.com/Keisha Rice. You can see it on the screen there, and I will put it in the comments. So again, now is the time to take action and learn how to walk into that abundant, cherished relationship that God has for you.